Hi everyone! We are doing a very powerful oil for little Queen Esther and myself, and hopefully it's going to boost our hair textures significantly. Without much ado, let's get into the video. Hello dear friends, you are once more welcome to our channel. Here we look at baby hairstyles, hair care, hair products and general tips on how to take care of a baby or a toddler's hair, sometimes even adults' hair. So today we are doing a very powerful herbal concoction to incorporate into our hair regimen, and it is our very first time trying this particular recipe. I have always been very skeptical about these natural DIY concoctions that we find on YouTube, mainly because they are too many and too confusing. When you spot a very convincing video on YouTube and then the creator asks you to like and subscribe for more, when you do, the very next day what you see is another video from the same source telling you 10 times better than the one you first saw and fell in love with that particular channel. And these YouTube suggestions also, before you know it, you end up being more confused than when you even started. But recently I lost so much hair around my hairline after a new person braided my hair, and I had no choice than to resort to these videos again. I decided to try the very simple onion and ginger juice treatment, and the results were really shocking. In a week I could already see a very big difference. So I decided, or I got inspired to do more research on how to incorporate these natural DIY solutions into our routines. So after weeks and weeks of research, I realized that there are so many different items that do the work of quick growth, oil control, scalp health, and the rest. It just depends on each person's needs and preferences. And this goes too with the methods of preparation and use. My main concerns were to find out if there were any harmful or toxic combinations or precautions while using these herbs and oils. And so after taking all this into consideration, I came up with my solution, and I am going to be describing in this video why I chose these particular ingredients and methods. First, I decided to use rosemary leaves as my main ingredient. This herb helps with nutrients delivery to the hair, as well as contains anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties that promote hair growth, that suits the scalp and reduce hair fall or loss. It also reduces scalp inflammation, strengthens the hair, and gives your hair a thicker and healthier texture. Secondly, I use cloves because it is known for its tremendous health benefits to the hair and a woman as a whole. It contains high levels of antioxidants and nutrients that help with growth and strength. It fights dandruff, helps to thicken the hair, and also acts as a barrier against premature graying. This herb also prevents thinning and cleanses the scalp. Next, I opted for fenugreek seeds because it is rich in protein and nicotinic acid, which are known for their capacity to fight hair fall and dandruff. These seeds also help with increased blood circulation that promotes hair growth. It treats dryness, controls balding and thinning, and finally, it enhances shine and texture. Moringa leaves are packed with vitamin A, B, C, and E, as well as iron and zinc, which help with keratin production. Moringa is also known for its tremendous healing capacity, not just for hair, but for many other health challenges. I particularly added it to deal with any free radicals causing any forms of infections on the scalp or the hair. So this herb will ensure that the scalp is in good health, that the strands are stronger, bigger, and healthier. It will also help with hair rejuvenation. It will activate dormant hair follicles and, of course, fight some of these free radicals. I also added cinnamon, which has antifungal, antibacterial, and antiseptic properties. It actively fights dandruff, prevents scalp infections, controls hair loss, balding, as well as with hair growth. I will later add peppermint and lavender oils purposely to enhance the flavors, but they also have really good and impressive roles to play. Peppermint increases blood circulation, stimulates the scalp and hair follicles, helps to increase follicle depth, and promotes regrowth and ensures stronger hair strands. Vitamin E oil is also great in locking in moisture and freshness, but I didn't include it later because I just didn't want so much going on. And now for the preparation, I just added the ingredients one after the other into a pot. I am not really good with measurements, so I just did these measurements in case someone would like to try the same recipe, or if I'm really impressed with the outcome, I am going to recreate the same thing. So I'm not very sure about these measurements. I just know I want these particular quantities of these particular herbs, like the cloves. I didn't want to put in so much cloves because I watched a video of someone who was using clove water continuously, I think for 14 days, and before the 14 days were over, her hair was completely brown, like I can say the dirty brown color. So I just want a little bit of the clove to take the nutrients that I need, not so much. And I am going to be adding in my carrier oils using precisely olive and coconut oil, and I'm going to be adding 1.5 cups of olive oil and 3 scoops of the coconut oil. And I'm just going to stir all the ingredients together to make sure that they are all blended together. And I'm going to be using very low heat, like the very lowest on my stove, and I'll let it like fry or cook in the oil for about 3 hours on very low heat. Like, you don't need to see any bubbles in the oil as the cook. And I'm going to let it cool down and strain it the next day. So after straining for some time, this is how our oil looks like, our mixture. This is how it is. The color of the olive oil and the coconut oil have completely changed because all of these herbs have been infused into the oils. So I'm going to be adding in some more oils. This is the black seed oil, and I'll add just a tablespoon. And I got this relaxing lavender massage oil from a Chinese massage shop. I purposely use this particular one because I am going to be massaging the oil into our scalp to get to like stimulate our scalp and our follicles, and I want it to be really relaxing as much as possible. And of course, I went in for lavender because I want to enhance the flavor. So I'm going to be putting in just a little bit of the peppermint oil because it has a really strong flavor compared to lavender, and I mix them separately in a different bowl because their main purpose is for flavor, to enhance the scent. So I mixed them and added them into the whole mixture, and I'm going to be adjusting the flavor with more of the lavender oil so that it should have some sort of a pleasing flavor, not so bad, because the concoction, or when it's boiling, it has a really terrible smell, a very strong and terrible smell. So you would want to enhance it with any oil or flavor of your choice. So that is how I came about this oil, our specially formulated DIY scalp and hair conditioning oil. Let us know if you would like to try this one day or another. And there are some tips I'm also going to be sharing concerning this oil and its production. You would want to put a before use date so that you do not exceed the time, or you should not exceed the time when the oil is still active. It has a shelf life of 1 year. So I just added the dates that the oil was produced, and so it's going to be expiring in 2024. Other things to consider is you would want to use only dry ingredients or dry herbs, because the fresh ones are not so good. They don't have a longer shelf life. They can stay for a maximum of 7 days. Yes, I tried using the fresh herb one time. Someone advised to use the fresh herb, and I used it, but it would not stay for long. It would go rancid in no time. So I had to discard the whole batch of oil that I produced, and I have to make a new one with the dry herbs so that they can last a longer time. And when you are cooking the oil, or when you are frying, or I don't know which method you use to infuse your herbs into your oil, make sure you do not you try to avoid steam or water as much as possible, because it is the steam or the water that makes the oil get bad very fast. It starts promoting the growth of unhealthy bacteria in the oil, and so it makes it go rancid very, very fast, and you would not have your desired results, or you might start having some scalp issues. So be sure to try as much as possible to use only dry herbs, and to not make any form of water to get into your oil. So that is it. Thank you for watching, and see you again next time.